I don't think that the IMF and the Troika is treating you with any different means. You know, Iceland had to cut down the welfare, schools, hospitals, benefits and everything like that, increase taxes. We had a lot of unemployment. We did not save the people who lost their houses and you know, the mortgages. And the same thing is happening in Portugal. So there's no difference what they are doing with you and what they are doing with Iceland. The difference is just the degree. You know, they were not as bad to us as you. So we got some special treatment. So, and I sometimes think they did it maybe to be able to point to Iceland and say, look, Iceland, they succeeded. Even though the people is having very horrible times, losing their belongings, and you know, we have poor people and everything like that after the crisis. So the effect of the devaluation of the currency was that, and actually we did put capital controls on the currency because it was falling like a stone, and when it had fallen around 50%, we put capital controls to save the Icelandic krona, and the capital controls are still in function and will be for more years to come. And because otherwise our krona would have just went all the way, well, I don't know how long way, but really deep. But anyway, for us as consumers, everything came very expensive in Iceland. You know, gasoline, clothes, food, and everything you import to Iceland, and we need very much because we cannot make anything in Iceland. So everything came very expensive, and the salary was not increasing. So it was very difficult for people to get the economy going in their homes. But on the benefit side was that our export industry was going better, and tourism. But our export industry is aluminium, and those are multinational companies that usually take their profits somewhere else, not in Iceland, and the fishing industry, and they usually do the same. They have companies even though the Icelandic fishing companies, they have companies around Europe and other places. The neoliberals that was before, they were actually doing what they did promise to do. But then we had this election, and the left parties make a lot of promises, and they broke them more or less because they actually did everything that IMF asked them to do. So they are favorite with the IMF. So, and they've been doing everything what the banks, because there have been a great fight in Iceland about loans of property, you know, loans of apartments and houses, and the governments have not really been helping the public to get through that. So there will really be the cronies of the banks, that government, and it illustrates really the power of the banks and the financial system. Well, that's one thing that we have to democratize much more. And many other countries have the same experience, have voted for left-sided government and don't feel any big changes. So that's nothing new that it happened in Iceland. Well, the constitution is now in its last meters. Now it's with the government, the parliament, and the parliament has to vote on it, yes or no. We have done what we were asked to do, so now it's in the hands of the parliamentarians, and a part of them are very much against it. But what we need to do to change in Iceland, I'm a part of a new political party, and we are trying to mobilize Icelanders to look to a different direction, not try to solve the problems with austerity and all the classical means that we hear in the mainstream media. We are looking at debt out it. We don't need to pay all the debt of the banks, and tax havens, change the tax system, and many other things like that. Increase production and so on, and reduce the power of the banks. So that's what we are trying to get people to understand in Iceland. But we are fighting against a very strong mainstream media in Iceland, just as everybody else around us.